Well, yeah, it was less obvious, but here's the deal with Mark. Mark had been an elite athlete pretty much his whole life, and he had been treated as an elite athlete. And he'll tell you this, man. He'd come from the world of powerlifting where he was treated as a special guy, and he is a special guy. He was a special guy, but he was young and he didn't know any better. So I I think in the beginning, Mark felt that all he had to do was be Mark. And yes, he did. He did need to be Mark. He did need to have that smile. He did need to have that outgoing personality. But he also needed to know when to step back. He also needed to know that, okay, you might have been this athlete here, but right now you're stepping into a whole different world. And here you have guys who are stars in this world, and some of them may know you, but a lot of them ain't going to know you. So don't expect for everybody to come down and bow down and kiss the ring, because that ain't going to happen. Well, he wasn't sure how to take that, and the boys can be the boys. The boys looking at a new guy coming in, and with the impression that he already felt like he fit in and he belonged, and it's not the way it works. And especially with the crew you had back then, I think you had Davey Boy and gosh, Brett was there. Brett was good though. I mean, but you had some of the guys who were going to test him, and I think I could be wrong, but in any company at that time, I'll say this way, I'll just talk about what I know. At that time in the company or in the wrestling business, the guys were going to test you. See how much you can take. See what you'll take. See what you're willing to put up with. See what you're willing to do. And you had Bradshaw back then too. And John, I like John, but John's John. John's just one of those guys that this is what you're going to get with him, and you better be prepared. If you can't take it, don't let him know, and don't show that you get mad, because that's gasoline on the fire. And Mark was trying very hard. He really was. But I don't know, and he'll probably tell you this in the beginning too, because I just saw him a couple months ago. He stopped by here in Knoxville, which is very, very cool. Stopped by the school, and he was telling some of the kids, he says, when I first started, I didn't get it. And as time went on, he did. But Mark, needed to lose some weight. He needed to get in ring shape. And we would run the ropes sometimes. And I was trying to tell the guys, when you run the ropes, you have to put your right hand over the top rope and grab the top rope. Do you know why you do that?
So you don't fall through, right?
So you don't fall through, and if the rope breaks too, you can break your fall. And it's broke on me twice in over 40 years. In the 40 years that I've actually been in wrestling or been around wrestling, let's say over 50 years actually that I've been around wrestling, it's broken me twice. Didn't go all the way to the floor. I was able to catch myself, which is good. But I've seen it break more than twice. And that's it. It may never happen to you, but it can happen. It has happened. And Dwayne was away one day, and I think this was probably after Survivor Series. And it was Occam and Mark. And we had just had a really, really hard workout. We're bleeding through our shirts with sweat, and so we're getting out of the ring. Occam and I get out of the ring. We had two monitors on top of it. We had a monitor on top of another monitor, so two monitors on top of each other. And the top monitor was live, so I had a camera that was facing the ring. We filmed everything. So the live feed is still going on, and we can see on the top monitor, and we can hear it, of course. Mark hits the ropes. Okay, he starts slow, but then he starts going up fast. I'm rewinding the other monitor below to watch what Occam had just done. And I get right to the point, the stop, and all of a sudden, Mark hits the ropes, and his head goes between the top and the middle rope. And it hooks his neck, and it hooks his ankle on the canvas in the ring. and it snaps. This was a time when all the office personnel and the studio personnel were at this the Marriott Hotel, the exit before the office, for a company meeting, and we're the only ones in the studio. And Marcus just broke his ankle because he was trying to go so fast and he slipped through the ropes because he didn't put his right arm over the top rope. And he broke it. And I thought I was going to get fired for sure. He was out. I think I put him back a couple months, obviously. And he wasn't sure how to react to that either. You know, he wasn't sure how to react to the way people were reacting to him, you know, breaking his ankle. And he would come to the studio and he would read the paper instead of watching us train. And then Vince found out about that because we taped everything, and he could see as he's watching, or somebody was watching. I don't think Vince was watching our practice. Somebody happened to see this. I know JR was watching. I know Bruce was watching. But he would watch the tapes, and he would see Mark reading the newspaper while Occam and I don't know if Wayne was there or not at this time. Dwayne was there or not. But anyway, and Vince finally called Mark in and showed him what he had been watching. It's like, no, listen, I'm behind you, but you've got to put the work in. And you've got to show me that you really want this. And he finally did. So, I mean, I've seen athletes like that who come in with one idea and their perception of what they think this is, and then some of them go through the fire and they go through the training, and some of them really embrace it, and others run from it. You know, Occam, I liked him a lot. He was a bodybuilder, and he wanted to get it, but I don't know that he really understood when you go out to the ring what a wrestling match was. He didn't really watch wrestling growing up. He was a bodybuilder. So when you go into an arena with screaming wrestling fans in spandex and going out there with these different characters that he doesn't really know, and these guys don't really know him, but in his world he is a superstar. But the wrestling fans don't know much about bodybuilding. Some of them do, but the majority don't. So, you know, Occam tried, and I worked with him for 3 weeks straight on the road. And my gosh, man, he was killing me. But he was one of the guys that I don't know if it ever clicked. And, well, no, it didn't click because he got out. But with Mark, it clicked. With Dwayne, it clicked. With a few other guys, it clicked. But others, you know, you see them, they talk a great game. But it's all talk. And you have to come in and you have to do it. You have to feel it. And you have to go through the heartaches. You have to go through the triumphs. You have to go through all these things. And that's part of the process. And some of them dig it and some of them don't. That's why I say you have to have fun doing this, but you have to have fun, and you have to like the hard work, because it is hard work.